Dr. Rathod, your choice to focus on Dalit women's narratives in contemporary Indian English literature is intriguing. Could you share what specifically inspired this choice?
Certainly, the voices of Dalit women have been historically overshadowed, often due to the dual oppression of caste and gender. While male narratives in Dalit literature are gaining traction, women's stories remain underrepresented. This research seeks to unearth these voices, offering a lens into their resilience and agency.
That's a compelling motivation. However, some argue that focusing on a broader spectrum of marginalized voices might have a more significant impact. How would you respond to that?
A valid point, yet narrowing in on Dalit women allows for a nuanced exploration of intersectionality. Their narratives highlight unique struggles and resistance which might be diluted in broader studies. For instance, examining Urmila Powar's memoir reveals layers of caste and gender dynamics not easily captured in general analysis.
Interesting. As we look forward, do you think such focused studies can influence mainstream discourse on intersectionality?
Absolutely. By amplifying specific voices, we can challenge and eventually reshape the dominant narratives. This can lead to more inclusive and representative literary spaces that genuinely reflect diverse experiences.
In your research, you aim to address the portrayal of Dalit women in Indian English literature. What primary research problem are you tackling here?
The core issue is whether these narratives authentically represent Dalit women's voices or merely reinforce stereotypes. Many texts claim to depict their experiences, but often through a privileged lens lacking genuine representation.
Some critics might argue that any representation is better than none. What would you say to that perspective?
While representation is crucial, accuracy and authenticity are paramount. Misrepresentation can perpetuate harmful stereotypes. For example, Sujatha Gidla's Ants Among Elephants offers a raw, unfiltered perspective, contrasting with sanitized portrayals often found in mainstream literature.
Looking ahead, how do you see this research influencing future literary works?
I hope it encourages authors to engage deeply with the communities they portray, fostering narratives that are both authentic and enlightening, thereby enriching the discourse on caste and gender.
You've chosen an intersectional feminist framework for your research. Could you elaborate on how this aids in analyzing Dalit women's narratives?
Sure, intersectional feminism, particularly Dalit feminist theory, helps dissect how caste and gender intersect in these narratives. Scholars like Sharmila Rijay provide critical insights into the layered oppression faced by Dalit women, offering a structured approach to their analysis.
Yet, some might argue that focusing on such frameworks could limit the scope of analysis. How do you counter that?
The framework serves as a guide, not a constraint. It ensures a comprehensive understanding of the sociopolitical contexts. For example, post-colonial theory helps critique whether these narratives are mediated through privileged voices or authentically presented.
And moving forward, how might these frameworks evolve to better serve literary analysis?
As literature and societal norms evolve, so too must our frameworks. Future adaptations might incorporate digital narratives and global perspectives, offering richer, more inclusive analyses.
Researching Dalit women's narratives in Indian English literature certainly comes with challenges. What are some hurdles you anticipate?
One significant hurdle is the scarcity of texts focused solely on Dalit women. Additionally, issues of authenticity arise when narratives are written by non-Dalit authors, risking appropriation rather than representation. Collaborative efforts with regional scholars and leveraging digital platforms for broader access to texts could mitigate some challenges, ensuring a more comprehensive and insightful analysis.